So I did it. I stopped making excuses and quit my job. And you know, people thought I was crazy, and I think maybe in the real world it is crazy, and I kind of felt crazy, but in my world at that time, it was the best decision I could have made, because I had already made up my mind that I wasn't getting any younger, and if I didn't do it now, then it would probably never happen. So I bought myself a one-way ticket, flew out to Asia, and what happened next changed my life forever. And that's not because I've visited waterfalls or stayed in a jungle for 6 months or went to a meditation retreat, but simply because I just had a moment to stop, breathe, think, or even not to think. I was living in that moment without any prejudice or judgment or expectations, essentially, because in the world I was living in, there's a role that you have to play. There are hats that you have to wear, but when I was on my own, I was truly able to be myself. And that's what I loved most about this experience. Now, what I realized was that more than anything else, it was humans that fascinated me the most. And I really wanted to see life through the eyes of other humans, to see how they feel and how they think and how their experiences have affected their views of the world, themselves, and each other. And I also felt like maybe I could learn something. Maybe this was my chance to find my own purpose through other people and in some way reach that level of greater understanding. So that's exactly what I did. I started to explore the world through humans. I'd literally just walk on the streets and stop people randomly and start conversations. Or whether I was in the airport or at the beach, wherever I was, I would engage in conversation with strangers. It was interesting because 9 out of 10 times, I would build enough rapport and trust with these individuals to get them to open up and start sharing their lives with me, whether it be stories, their experiences, or simply just their views on life. You know, it was a challenge that had many benefits, and not just to me, but to the people that I was speaking to, because at the end of the day, who doesn't like to have a genuine and open, good conversation? And what I decided to do was buy a camera so that I could capture these moments and share it with others. I simply met many inspiring people on this journey. For example, Tulsi, the plane crash survivor.
I've survived a plane crash. I've survived so many things, and I know that I'm always going to pass those hurdles.
Even stories you would never imagine you'd hear. For example, I met a guy who actually chooses to be homeless.
Just look at all the people who are trying their hardest to go across dangerous journeys to get from Africa, who would die to have what I have.
I also filmed backpackers because I was living out of hostels and asked them questions like, what's the biggest stereotype you get whilst traveling?
Do you sunburn? Yes, everyone gets sunburn.
And then also filmed digital nomads and tried to understand what the reality is of working and traveling at the same time.
It can also be very difficult to be satisfied because the grass is always greener. There's always the next thing that you could do.
So I filmed different groups of people within society, and what I learned throughout this journey is that basically we are all different. We are all different. We have different thoughts and views of the world. But at our basic, in our core, we are all exactly the same. Telling all of these stories and going through this journey helped me to find my passion. It was my purpose, and that is the art of storytelling. So bringing other stories to life, and also now bringing my own stories to life. So I also now create videos taking people through a journey into my mind as I try to understand my own life's experiences. I just want to say thanks to everyone that's taken part, because every moment, every conversation I had, and every emotional feeling that came from the interviews that I've done have become some of the most important life experiences that I've had. I've learned so much, not just in my craft, but from the actual conversations and stories that I've heard. And you have made me now who I am today. So thanks to everyone who's taken part and to everyone who's also subscribed to my channel, because every single one of you mean a lot to me. And yeah, for those of you who are new to the channel, then maybe consider subscribing for weekly videos. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Take care.